Good evening and namaste. This session is organized by NIRATHANKA as a part of its skill development initiative in association with Business Manager Magazine, HR at 8 p.m., BOOSWA, M&HR Solutions Private Limited, and Niratha Publications. It is my deep privilege to introduce Captain Manas Baisya to all of you today. Personally, I interacted with him recently and he has accepted our invitation and he has joined with us today. Manas is a seasoned HR professional with over 20 years of leadership experience across India and internationally, including a distinguished tenure at the Walmart, known for his strategic insight and global perspective. He combines the discipline and leadership principles from his background in the Indian Army with a dynamic HR career, further enhanced by an MBA. Manas delivers measurable outcomes across diverse sectors and geographies, adapting seamlessly to varying cultures and business environments. His expertise spans leadership development, change management, and executive career coaching. He has designed and led high-impact training programs for senior leaders, managers, and C-suite executives, focusing on critical areas such as communication, strategic decision-making, and organizational transformations. Manas' approach integrates a deep understanding of human behavior and organizational dynamics, enabling him to help executives and organizations unlock their full potential, whether facilitating leadership development and leading a change management initiatives. His ability to deliver customized, impactful result has made him trusted partner for global leaders and organizations striving for a long-term success. It is indeed an honor to have such a distinguished personality among us. I now invite Captain Manas, to kindly take over and share his insightful with us. Captain Manas.
Thank you, Ramesh. I think it was pretty long to get people bored. So I have a request before I start.
Yes.
I know many people might be going home now. If few of you can turn on the video, it is good. Then for me, it looks like, if it is possible, no, it is not mandatory.
Yeah.
I mean, few of you can switch on the video, it's good. Then I, as a facilitator, I feel more interactive.
Yes.
And I know this is all HR group, so I'm comfortable. I'm at home. And if you have anything to ask, you can surely, thanks Indranil. Thanks for switching on the video. And you please pause me and you ask. And there are a few slides which I have taken from my industry where I was working and where balance scorecard was implemented. So I will request, please don't take a copy of those slides in terms of screen share or whatever. Otherwise, it is okay. I mean, there's not a problem because, those are the slides which were told that they are copyrighted. But I know it's HR group, so I have no qualms to share those. See, the point is, wherever I go for training, I mean, wherever I have shown this audio visual, most of the time people don't notice it, and you will not believe. If you want, I can revisit it, but 4 times the name comes in this video. So the name is Delhi, T-E-L-I. Okay. And the point which I am trying to bring up is in today's world, the way things are, our attention span is very, very less. Okay. And as a HR, for us, observation has to be very, very good, because the way we function, we are not a business function. We are at the end of the day, we go as the business desires. We do bring certain things on table, but however, it's important that our observation is really good. I start with this mindfulness, because whatever we do, it's very, very important that we be mindful of the surroundings. And if you want, I will share it to you, or you can see in YouTube also. This video is available there. And you will be surprised that 4 times the name comes in. Okay. Now let's go to the balance scorecard. Is it okay? Am I audible?
Yes, audible.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
good, good. So now, see, this is an example of like in a company, this is old data, but how they improved vis-a-vis implementation of balance scorecard. You can see this is 1995 data, and I was doing some work at that point of time, and I had gathered it. So generally, these type of results have been seen who the companies who have been able to successfully launch balance scorecard in their domain. Okay. So what is the origin of balance scorecard? It was initiated by Robert Kaplan and David P. Norton in 1992. They had first presented a paper in Harvard Business School. And from there on, the balance scorecard story took over the corporate, and many Fortune 500 company was operating on balance scorecard. Now, they did research with the belief that existing performance measurements are too much on financial accounting measures alone. So they are somehow becoming obsolete. So you can see this is again, it is 75 most influential ideas of the 20th century. It was held. So anybody who has experience of balance scorecard in this group, anyone who has implemented, or anyone say yes, no in the chat? Anyone? Yes, no. Okay. So see, 1 hour is a time which might not be enough for making you learn how balance scorecard is implemented and all. But what will happen is I will run you through the main points. First, I will show you something which if you Google, you will be able to see. In Google, there are a lot of material available. You can read it and you will know yourself. At the later part of our interaction, I will show you something which you might not be able to find in Google. And that is the more interesting part, I feel. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes, yes, we are seeing the screen, Manas.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine, no problem. So you can see there are few things what he mentioned in the audio visual. It is, I will just tell you, he talks about intangible assets. He talks about comprehensive framework. So balance scorecard is a comprehensive framework which is not only depending on the financial value. Okay. So it has got other aspects. There are 4 pillars of balance scorecard. Once we go through the whole presentation, you will understand that. Now, balance scorecard talks about measurement. So the essence is that if you cannot measure something, you cannot improve upon something. And if you cannot improve, then you cannot grow. And measurement also helps in differentiating between performers and non-performers. So the companies who does balance scorecard, it acts as a PMS for them. The performance management system is inherent, and everybody's scorecard you can publish monthly basis based upon the criterias which you have selected. Okay. So what is balance scorecard? As I told you, it is a framework that focuses on shareholder, customer, internal processes, and learning and growth. So learning and growth is very, very important in this overall structure of the balance scorecard. In fact, all 4 are important. The best part is it is interlinked. Balance scorecard, it is interlinked, and you will see that how the processes are interlinked. So far, so good.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Good.
in order to create a system of linked objectives, the measures, the targets, and initiatives which collectively describe the strategy of organization and how the strategy can be achieved. Now, I would like to ask you, when you talk of balance scorecard, what is the first thing it comes to your mind? Anyone? Anyone, you can write in the chat. If you're not comfortable talking, you can. Okay. So the first thing which comes in a balanced scorecard is the vision of the company. So any company who is implementing balanced scorecard, it's very important that you know what is the vision of the company, and from there you break it like vision, then mission. We know all of us know. Then what is the yearly target, and what all areas you are focusing. Uh, but the important point is you know where you have to go, and from there you slowly prepare the framework. So the four perspective is this you will get in Google. If you Google, you will get all the details. Now the financial perspective and the internal business perspective, that is your business process, and learning and growth perspective, and customer perspective. Okay. So ultimately, the business, yes. Okay. So ultimately, the business is run by the customer. We all know customer is the king, because whatever we do, if we don't have people to buy, we don't have people to use our product, then there is no point of the business. And if you see in the center, it is your strategy and it is your vision, which will dictate your four perspectives. So a company who is into retailing will have a different vision and strategy than a company who is into manufacturing. Okay. So we'll see how it works. Okay. So the knowledge, skills, system, and tools is at the base. That defines your internal capabilities, and that defines your customer benefits. So customer will know that what product the company is providing, what is the product the company is selling, and based on your customer base, the financial results will come in. Okay. So now we need to equip our people to build the strategic capabilities needed to deliver the sets of benefits to customer. So as you have heard in the audio visual that your intangible asset, one of the intangible asset is your people. So if you don't have people to deliver the strategic aims which you have decided, then there is no point. Okay. So how does it do balancing act? The name is balance scorecard. It balances between financial and non-financial measures. So, and also the short and long-term measures. So we say that there are some low-hanging fruit which the business can always get. So those are the short-term measures, and the long-term measures are the effects which I work on today, which will deliver result in the long term. Now, this point is very, very important. I will come back to you again. There are something called lead indicators in the balance scorecard and something called lag indicators. Please remember these two terms. These are very, very important. When you see any balance scorecard or anything wherein the KRAs and the criterias are involved. So some are lead indicators. Lead means if I do it today, the result will be coming maybe later on, but they're very important. They're future facing. And the lag indicators are today's result. So in balance scorecard, there are certain objective taken which are for today. I mean, the business has to run today. And however, there are some objectives which if we do today, the business will enhance in future. So there are external and internal constituent of the organization. There are demographic factors, outside demographic factors in which our business is dependent. And this leads to strategic focus and organization alignment. For example, if a company is dependent on certain policies, for example, a company is in polymer. The moment the government changes some rule related to polymer import or related to the price of the raw material, so this is external factor, but it is affecting the organization. Okay. So now this integration between vision, mission, values, and strategy, then there is a corporate scorecard, then there's a business scorecard, then there is a unit scorecard. This scorecard actually drills down to each individual. I mean, if you talk of a person who is a IC, that is, who is an individual contributor, he will also have a scorecard. It is difficult. It is not easy to define the scorecard and drill down to that level. But once you do it, then it becomes very easy for you and it becomes very, very transparent. Okay. So if we see there in this slide, we can see the objectives, the measures, the initiatives, and the targets. Now, objectives can be a statement of what we must have, and this is thus critical to success. So there is something called the critical success factors. I will come on that in later slides, and we'll talk about that then. Now, measures are how success in achieving these strategies will be measured and tracked. So is it a financial measure, or it is attrition figure, or it is my talent management score, or it is my succession planning? It can be anything. Now, initiatives are what are the initiatives you are going to take for the objective set, and the targets, of course, we all know target is the end line. Okay. Now, there are a few guidelines in formulating the KPIs. The measures of success must have a linkage with strategic objectives. Now, I cannot have the measures which have got no linkage with my objective. Secondly, they must be clear, specific, and measurable, like we put on SMART goals. It's similarly like that, but a little bit different. You will realize it when I will show you the scorecard. The measure of success should be easy to explain. It should be explainable to the person for whom the scorecard you are making. It should not be like, he is not able to understand what the scorecard is. And also, it has to be communicated very well. If once people are not understanding, you can have twice, thrice, but at the end of the day, the person should be clearly understanding that why his scorecard is designed the way it is. Okay, so far so good, Ramesh?
Yes, yeah, it's good.
Good.
It's very also it is very interesting to know this subject for me individually.
Okay, good, fine. So we'll go to the next slide. Okay, so now the measures of success should be controllable and actionable. I mean, when you do a measure, it should be controlled. If required, it should be tweaked, and it can be actionable. There are no measures should be taken at the end of the day when people come in and say, okay, you have put it on score, but I have got no influence, or I cannot do it. Somebody else's duty is this. So there should not be any victimized mentality. The measure of success should be easy to manipulate. It can be changed in between if required. We know we are in a dynamic environment, and should not exceed the value that will be known from the measurement. Okay, so criteria for choosing measurement is it should be relevant, it should be measurable, it should be actionable, and it should be visibly clear to everyone. Now, this is something, this is one, again, I am telling you, this is till the time it is easily available in the public domain. So for example, you are rating a measurement against a criteria. So you see one of percentages of unit that follow the end-to-end process defined in corporate manual. So is it relevant? Is it measurable? Is it actionable? You can put it, you can do a survey among people, you can do a survey among leadership that it is possible or not. Percentage of eligible employees who are participating in a competency model development program. Now, the point is one can be eligible employees. Is it linked to some training development? Is it linked to some development program of theirs? Or is it linked to some projects, additional projects which they have been given? So those things are very, very important. I'll just give a pause. Anyone, any question?
Manasji, is it possible to share with some example so that people can relate it?
Okay. So for example, like I have kept an assignment like number of assessment completed. Okay. So anyone who is doing assessment, for example, a training and development person, the company is doing internal assessments. So I keep the number of assessments as a completed as one of the criteria. Now, is it relevant? Is it measurable? Is it actionable? I score it from 1 to 3. Now, if you ask me for example, okay, number of assessment completed is okay, 3. But the other point which can come is that if I have a system to measure, it is fine. Now, where is the quality of the assessment? So, for example, if I am the training manager, I may ask that, okay, assessments he has completed, but are we capturing the quality of the assessment he is completing? Okay. Am I clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go to the next slide. Now, I will show you some checklist for setting targets and measures. And among the 4 dynamics, I will show you some insights for the learning and development, because most of the people here is in HR, is from HR. So you see, while setting the targets and measures, that indicators should be leading in nature. Okay. Now, not always. It depends where your company is now. For example, a company which is newly in projects, they're investing heavily. So for them, both the thing is very, very important. One is future performance, and also how they are doing in the near future. It depends on the company's status, where the company is in. Any company which is e-commerce driven, for them, perhaps the future indicators will be more important because their business is such. But anything, any companies who are into establishment mode, manufacturing processes and all, so they has to have a balance. Okay. Do not blindly follow any other organization, however successful it may be. I'll show you one balance scorecard of a logistics company. Once you see that, you will realize that it is not feasible for your company. So it is not that one balance scorecard suits everyone. It is just the principle which you can adopt. You cannot adopt any scorecards or any measures or any targets which they have set in. Okay. So do not include any duplicate or contradicting indicators, and retain the focused approach. Keep the numbers of indicators limited. You should not have too many indicators. Otherwise, like we say, no, that our KRS should be limited. If you have too many KRS, people will not be able to achieve them. Don't be over ambitious. Understand the organized capabilities and keep the targets practical and achievable. Okay. So see, there is one setting target like improvement customer service, as Mr. Prakash was mentioning. So it is too vague. So when you improve, so it can be like this: reduce average response time to customer by 30% by year end. Now, there is another pitfall in this. So I am writing this reduce average response time, but then I should be able to capture that has it actually reduced? I should not go back to customer and ask that, okay, has it reduced? So I should have a system wherein internally I know if I get a customer feedback, that is well and good. But for my internal settings, I need to have a system to see that actually it is reduced by 30%, 31% or 29%. So far, so good?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, thank you. So this, all the blue slides, I will request, these are all copyrights. Okay, the slides now on what I will show. These were actually used in one of the companies where I was working to implement the balance scorecard. And balance scorecard implementation, it takes time. Okay, it is not that I plan it today and it gets implemented in 1 month, 2 months. It actually takes time, and it takes, it's a top-down approach. So all the leaders need to sit together and they need to understand what they're getting into. For us, it took about 10 to 12 months to start the ball rolling. And while I am talking to you in an hour and telling you something, but it is not practically, it takes time. Understand the concept, that will be fine for today's session. So now, if you see in the top, it is written the strategic question. Now, strategic question is, this value creation means what is the value you are creating for the company? Now, I told you that understand the environment. This environment means the environment, the market you are working on. Okay, like a multinational works in a different markets in terms of country. In India also, East market might not be same as South or North or West. So it's very, very important, the environment you are working in. Then you need to understand the institution. Institution means the institution you are working. What is the culture of the company? Do you have an aggressive culture? Do you have a submissive culture? Do you have a people-centric culture? Do you only run for profit? So all these things are very, very important before you decide. Okay. Now, then the next step comes that what is the scenarios into the future? Today it looks like it is good. Okay. Now, tomorrow will it be good? Will it be fine? Will it work out? Yes or no? And then the critical success factors behind the business idea. As I told you, this critical success factor is very, very important in balanced scorecard implementation. And we will also talk about it in detail in the later slides. Is this the right enterprise for the future? You need to ask this question that what brought us here? Will it get us to future? Today, the company might be doing very well. I mean, we have so many stories, you all know, Nokia and other so big brands who are who died, so they could not understand that what the future is calling. So when you do balance scorecard, one of the strategy comes in, you discuss that is your company ready for future? Now, then comes your potential business choices and address organizational competencies, that the value system or the culture or the competency which the organization is working, is it fine or not? If it is not there, then there is something called value restoration. This is also a thing which we need to decide before you get into the balance scorecard. It seems little boring, but this is very, very important. I mean, if you understand, the scorecard is only what we see, but the effort or the thought behind the balance scorecard is very, very important for you as a HR individual to understand. Okay, now this is a dashboard which you prepare. Again, I'm telling you, this is something which has got a copyright. Like, there are different types of strategies. Like you attack, you advance, you hold, you alliance, withdrawal, you surrender. So there are times when you know that this product of mine is not working. So you stop doing that.
Hello.
So hello.
Hi, sir. This is Suresh. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, please.
So I have one request, sir. So while explaining this concept, can you please highlight some examples, sir? So without examples to follow this, it's quite difficult for us.
Fine. Whenever you want a good, you pointed me, I will give you an example. For example, as I was talking about strategies, example Nokia. Now, why did Nokia finish? Because Nokia could not come into the smartphone domain. They kept on producing 3315, 3310. So if you see these, they should have researched enough to attack the market proactively with more models of smartphones. Ambassador car, if you see in the car. So what they did, they should have surrendered the ambassador model, or maybe they should have put it in a niche category or something when old people, they want to continue. And they should have come to the market wherein, like the way the Maruti had captured that point of time. Okay. So they started competing in the wrong market. Even Hindustan Motors, they came up with a truck. So they chose a wrong market. How? Because Ashok Leyland and Tata, they were already in the market in big time. So if you see, they could not understand how to develop it. Now they didn't have their own research mechanism, so they could have always go into a alliance. Nowadays, if you see, and recently today only I was reading that Honda and Nissan is getting into an alliance, but that didn't work out because Honda wanted Nissan to be its subsidiary. So in a business strategy, when you are implementing balance scorecard, you talk about 5-10 years ahead. Okay. So at that time, you decide that this is the product, this is the market we want to attack, this is where we advance, and this product, for example, ambassador, they could have hold it that, okay, we'll not increase the production capacity, we'll just hold it here. And then you also need to understand that maybe 3-4 years we'll go into an alliance with this company. And then surrender means you stop that product. Like Nirma also could not understand. They were in the basic washing powder domain. They continued doing so. So when Surf Excel came in, they thought they will launch a product, Nirma Blue. But unfortunately, the name was same Nirma. So people did not accept that product. So you need to understand in one side, the markets you attack, and the other side, if you see where to compete and what to compete with. Can I compete? So if Nirma thought that, okay, I'm a mid brand, they could have improved their products and they could have operated in a mid market only, still the product would have been running. So they were not able to understand what we do in this sort of market condition. Is it okay? I mean, you asked me for example, is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, please ask, huh? If you do not understand, please ask. Now,
Sure,
how
sir.
to compete? You need to compete in a value-driven execution, business in perspective, like the core competencies what you have. You can come with new products, but do you have the capability to handle those products? You need to ask those questions. And these brainstormings are very, very important before you go into a balanced scorecard mode. Okay. Now we see the external drivers of competitiveness and productivity. As I was telling you about external drivers, so you can see here the trends, the uncertainties, the key deliverables, how the competitiveness will be, what is your productivity, how much growth you can achieve, and what is your profitability. So you see the last line is very, very important. It can be political, it can be physical, it can be social, economical, technical, and trade. So trade, can someone give an example of trade? Anyone?
Import, export.
Import, export. Very good. Any recent example? So Trump is talking of what?
Stopping the other countries who are,
Trump is talking of duties. Okay.
duties,
Excess duties.
yes,
So
excess
a
duties.
company who could anticipate that if Trump comes in, my product will be having more duty, then they could take some action to minimize that. Okay. So a duty means the trade becomes a issue, and profitability will go down. So this is a external factor. What can be a political factor? Anyone? Any recent example?
Modi visiting.
No,
No,
recently
sir.
there's a with our neighbor. Recently there are 2 examples with our neighbor. Anyone?
No, sir. We cannot understand your question. Can you repeat
So
again?
I am saying this political factor we saw in 2 of our neighboring countries. This political factor had come into play recently. Can you name both the countries?
Sri Lanka and China.
Bangladesh and Sri Lanka.
Yeah, Bangladesh
And Sri
and
Lanka.
Maldives. Of course, Sri Lanka is also there. So if you see, Bangladesh was our trade partner, but now they are not as friendly as they used to be. So these are the political factors. Okay, understood?
Yes, sir.
So we'll go to the next slide.
Sir,
Now,
can I
you
ask
see-
a question, sir? Sorry.
Yeah, please.
Sir.
Please.
Sir, it's come to Nirma. They are into washing detergents, right? So,
Yeah.
and other as a competitor is Surf Excel, as we've seen, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
But so both are in the same products, and how is it not reached to customers?
Yeah, I will tell
Nirma
you.
is established in earlier. I mean, it's
Yeah,
coming
very,
from
very
long
good
time.
question. Very good question. So do you know what was the problem with Nirma? What Nirma was facing, what problem? It was an established player, but what the problem started coming in?
No, sir.
No. So Nirma, the product was established. You have asked a very pertinent question. what was happening was the surf is used by whom? Generally the female. In India, the females are using it more. So Nirma, the soda ash quantity was so high that it was affecting the hand of females. And when wheel came in, first wheel came in, do you remember what the wheel said? Wheel used to tell, पहले इस्तेमाल करे और फिर विश्वास करे. They started telling people, कि first use our product, then you see the difference. So this is the point when Nirma started coming down. So Nirma should have changed their product constituent, understanding that this product is not working in the market. So that's where their downfall started slowly. Then surf came in, then I think surf, wheel, and there was another product, I'm forgetting the name. Slowly they started capturing the market. Then Nirma came with a product Nirma Blue, so that it is blue in color. They were competing surf, but the same name Nirma stayed. So the public had a bad experience with Nirma name. The people who had stopped using Nirma, they were not buying the product.
Okay.
Could I answer you?
Yes, got it.
So they should have changed their advertisement, and they should have done something to come out of the public mind. Like Maggie. Maggie was off the shelf for some time, but see, now they're back again. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. So this is a strategic value chain. I think we have 14 minutes. I'll wrap it up in another 5 minutes or so. Then we can discuss. Okay. So this is a value strategic value chain. There are enablers, there are drivers. If you see one side, it is your reputation and image of the company. The other side is the product and service features. So when I talk of Nirma now, the image was very, very important. When the people started talking of Nirma, कि हाथ खराब हो जाएगा, ये product में हाथ खराब हो जाएगा. Okay. Now this is, you see, growth. How do you manage? There is merger and acquisition or organic growth. These are top level slides I am showing you. When you are deciding on balanced scorecard, you discuss on all this aspect. Like your strategy focus will be clear, your execution will be flawless, your culture performance orientation will be fine. Okay. Just for you to, you see, this is adapted from what really works in HBR. So this is for the top management to discuss and to understand what their strategic value chain will be. Okay. Okay. Now this is the execution bit of it. If you see culture, climate, these are all interlinked. So one is customer management. If you can see my scrolling bar, you can see customer management, competitiveness, growth, everything is included. If your product is good, your growth will be there. If your service is good, profitability will be there. So your core competency will define your productivity and competitiveness. And these are all interlapping. Okay. So critical success factor, I have been telling what is essential to get into a business. When you talk of critical success factor, you ask yourself, this is a question. What is essential to get into a business? What is needed to stay in the business? In your business, if you ask yourself, what is essential to get into your business and what is needed to stay in your business, will give the answer. That is your critical success factor. Okay. Now, if you see here, a critical success factor is an element of a project or process without which the outcome cannot be precisely defined. It would be impossible to complete the task output. They usually come in combination of key qualifier and key deliverables. I'll show it to you, which reflects time, resource, quality, and learning elements. Okay, I will just skip this sides. Like, for example, you see key deliverable. For an airline, what is most important? Anyone?
Time.
Time. Another, the most important part?
Availability of
Safety.
seats
Safety.
and
Safety. Lovely, lovely.
Safety.
Safety is very, very important, and the schedules are very important. In pharma, what is important? That selecting correct drug for development, time to market, and also it should be safe. Consulting, manpower utilization, software, project management, scalability, and nowadays AI. This is old time now. Okay, so you understood key deliverables. These are the essence that your company has to have. Okay, I will jump this. I will also see, this is 2011. I didn't change. As I was telling you, this was in 2008 we are doing. And if you see product leadership, we have decided this, then operation excellence, then customer relationship management. RORO is a roll in, roll out, this term. This is used in logistics wherein car goes directly into the ship. Okay. Now, product leadership, we wanted terminals across Northwest India. We wanted reduced throughput time. If anybody from logistics will understand this term, we also wanted service frequency to be more. So this I just showing. One side is performance, the other side is year. Is it okay? Have you got a feel of it?
Yes, it's okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now this is a real map which we had done. Now these are the steps of balance scorecard I am showing you. Now if you see here, so if you see the human capital here, organization capital here, information capital here. Now you see one by one. Truck turnaround time will lead to your truck utilization. Truck utilization will lead to your truck load factor. So then from here, you get into lowest turnaround time in region. Then you can product mix planning. You can plan the mix of product depending on your utilization of transport. Now, if you come here, you see this factor dispatch efficiency. So if you are efficiency in dispatch, then what happens? You can transfer efficiently. You can collection will be efficient. Your least cost in and out of bound customer. And these all things will create long-term shareholder value. Anybody, any question in this slide? Because this is the slide, if you understand, you will understand everything in balance scorecard. So first is learning. Second, these are all processes. If you see this, see the left side. Then these are all customer. If there is a speedy transshipment, customer will be happy. There are minimized theft and transit losses, customer happy. Lowest turnaround, customer happy. Least cost in and out, customer happy. This leads to your financial planning. Any question? You want any example or you understood?
Maybe for the human capital point of view.
Human capital, I'll show.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah. I think that is a whole
yeah. So
group
if
what
you
we
see
have. Yeah.
these basic considerations for the learning and innovation, these are the considerations. Okay. So you need to have a system for continuous improvement. These are the things which you need to keep in mind. Approach to nurturing core or strategic competencies. Approach to nurturing new competencies. When the business talks of new avenues, you should be able to tell them, okay, you are telling about this job. We cannot be completing it, the competencies which we have today. We have to evolve and we have to encourage new competencies. Then what, as a cultural point of view, elements to look out for: employee satisfaction. So are your employees satisfied? Employee training and development. So how many days training and development you are doing? What is the satisfaction level of the training and development? What is the output coming? Are you measuring it? Is the ROI happening in terms of training and development? Then employee productivity, turnover, then alignment between personal and organization goals. As I was telling you, that when the scorecard is made at the top level, has it been percolated to the lower level properly? Okay. Then clear line of sight of expectation and advancement, opportunities and employability. Employability means with change in business, your people will be employable in your company or not. Any questions? Okay, no. Then this was my last slide. What I can do is I can show you something as I was being told about HR. Prakash was telling. I'll show you one Excel sheet, the actual HR which we did. Just hold on. I will show you that. Just 1 second. 1 second. So can you see the Excel sheet?
No, sir.
No. Okay.
Now it is opening.
Now it's opening.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So I will just show you the, okay, let me remove this. Okay, so this is the learning scorecard. I'm showing you actual scorecard, how we are designed. I have to remove the scores. If you see here, like, we had kept employee feedback. So how do you get employee feedback? Exit interview analysis. Then employee motivation. So we had formed a buddy system at that point of time. Then employee numbers. Then mentoring spread. We had a mentoring scheme in place. Then communication means how many communication meetings are taking place, how many people are attending that, frequency of that. Then in talent management, like employee engagement score. So this is something which we are diligently doing. Attrition data, average number change, training feedback. So we were quantifying the training feedback, Then knowledge management, data repository, then track and trace. At that point of time, so many HRMS were not there. So this was one of the factor there. Then data availability, uptime, business support. And if you see, G means a measure indicates a lag measure, and L is a lead measure. I told you about lag and lead. So if you see this LG and LL, you will say, like employee motivation is a futuristic thing which builds up your company's culture. So this is a futuristic aspect. So this is not for today. This is for future. And if you see a mix of lead and lag measure, more the lead, more proactive is the firm. Try and define no more than 6 to 8 measures. Anything, anybody wants to ask anything? If not, then I think I am done. Hello.
Any possibility you can share one more example other than learning and development with related to HR?
Yeah, I will learning and development with related to HR.
Mm.
You see here, it is a talent management. You have seen employee feedback, where an exit interview analysis, you have to score it. Now, the key of this is this employee exit interview analysis. We had designed a form and we had put a score in everything. There is no subjective involved in this. Like very good, there is nothing. So everything has to be adopted in a score. Now I'll show you one finance scorecard also. Can you see this? It's visible? For example, RONA. Anyone who knows what is the full form of RONA?
No.
So this is return on net asset. So our company was in a project mode. So we took it as one of the factors. Then ROS is return on capital employed. Now this we are not sure that in the project phase we'll be able to do it or not. Okay. Now then like turnaround time. Okay. So we decided that some figures we decided at that point of time. Now the project phase, what is the completion status report of the project? So this, like this, customer, for example, I'll show you to explain you better. Like new customer. Okay. So here, what is your customer pipeline? Now your customer pipeline will decide that you will have new customers in future or not. Effectiveness of sales. So how do you see that? Your quotation, how many quotation you are sending, and vis-a-vis the percentage of capacity you have in your company. As I am telling you, this is a logistic company. So the capacity is important, that you can survive if the business comes in. So you'll be able to get to the business or not, able to deliver the business or not. That's more important.
So someone has raised a question, is there any difference between balance scorecard and HR scorecard?
HR scorecard is something with the HR does. A balance scorecard, when you have a HR scorecard within the balance scorecard, then it is interlinked. All the 4 factors are interlinked. Am I able to answer you? So in a HR scorecard, one factor may not be directly involved with finance, but when in balance scorecard, you prepare the scorecard for HR or learning and development or whatever you call it, it is always linked with the all other 3 processes which is in the company. It is defined. It is not that in HR scorecard it is not linked, but then it is defined. So you know that this one factor in HR will affect the business process, the customer service, and the financial aspect of the company, how it will affect. Is it okay? Have you understood, or I am vague? Ved, is it okay? Okay, thank you. So I will, KRAs are okay. KRAs, what happens is, KRA, your function gives you something, based on that you define a KRA. And here, as the KRAs are of course there, but then they're all quantified, and then you can review it on a monthly basis. And also these are linked to your KRA and my KRA are linked. So the interlinking, everybody understands that. See, balance scorecard is a cost that business has to decide. You can do it initially, but apart from cost, what is most important is, as you saw in few of the slides, it takes a lot of time of your leadership. Because as I told you, it is a top-down approach. First, you need to understand the vision of the company and the strategy which the company is playing. After that, only you can decide on balance scorecard. You can do it initially, you can do it mid of the business. But what I felt is initially in the project stage, it might not be that important. But when you come out of the project and you start the business, that is the right time to implement the balance scorecard.
Mr. Manas, wonderful, sharing your insights. Thank you so much for this. Just one, query or rather clarification is, why is that? I mean, we don't see many corporations in India talking about BSc model or rather implementing it. What stops
very good question,
organizations?
Nagaraj, very good question. See, in India, the business dynamics are a bit different. I'll tell you, there are companies who have offices outside India, multinationals. They do a balance scorecard in other countries, but in India, somehow they are not doing. So if you ask me, there might be 2-3 reasons. One is some people are telling now that balance scorecard is passe. Passe means why? Because the business dynamics is changing so frequently. People feel it is very tedious to change the scorecards frequently, because the strategies are changing with the type of business scenario we are in. And as I told you, it takes a lot of time when you are into balance scorecard and you want to change strategy. Your scorecards has to be changed, your leadership has to be aligned. And moreover, in India, I feel my experience has been is more of doing and less of strategy, I will say. So businesses are more keen on to get the numbers. And so this type of tools, generally my experience in other countries, that they feel that this helps them in the long run, but might not be in India, the family driven companies and all, they don't believe it. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Is Indranil Ji is there? I think he is not there in the session. Are there any questions or shall we wind up?
I think there are no more
Yeah, I
questions.
think we can
but
wind up. Yes.
I just wanted to thank you all for getting me the opportunity to talk here. And thank you, Ramesh. Thank you, Prakash, and others who have come in the meeting.
When are you
Sincere
coming to
gratitude.
Bangalore, Manasji?
Yeah, I am coming on 9th of April.
9th of April. Okay. If you come over here, okay, we'll try to plan on offline session also.
Yeah, sure. Offline sessions are always better.
Yes. Try to.
Sir, Shagar sir has raised two more questions. If it is possible, can you please answer that one? I thought
Can we get PDF? Yes, I will send PDF. No problem.
No,
But
sir. Prior
however,
to
I will
that,
not send the slides which I told you. I requested you that they are copyrighted. Otherwise, I will send the PDF. No problem.
Dear participants, if possible, try to join our WhatsApp group so that we can easily share the resources, whatever we shared by the resource person. So we'll share you the link and kindly join our WhatsApp group. And I must thank Prakash, introduced Manas recently, like two or 3 days back. And within a short notice, Manas
This is
accepted
fine.
our
I think,
invitation.
yeah.
I
I'm sending my mobile number in the group. If you want any details, anytime if you are implementing balance scorecard, you can reach out to me. I can help you at least with the HR scorecards or anything. Okay, thank you, Ramesh.
Manasji, 1 second. Prakash?
Yeah, yes, Ramesh.
Please summarize and give a vote of thanks.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Manasji, good evening once again. Good, very insightful session on balance scorecard, how we can really apply to achieving our business strategy. I think as one of the participants was asking, not many organization has not been really following it, but I think it was a good approach for all of us to get familiar with that. And a big thank you to you for be available and sharing your experience. I think 10-15 years before you started implementing, I think you would have been a pioneer in now introducing this in your previous organization. So the knowledge what you have shared was really good and clear understanding how balance scorecard can serve as a powerful tool to drive the business strategy and also align goals and also sustainable success of an organization. So I sincerely appreciate all Ramesh and all other association of the team which has been organizing this session. Good dedication, Ramesh and team and the NIRATHANKA team. And to our participants, thank you for your engaging lot of good questions and active discussion. And definitely this helps to organize such kind of sessions and more interactive sessions going forward. And once again, thank you all for your time and participation. So wish you continued success in implementing, if possible, this framework. You can always reach out to Manasji. He has shared his number. If you want to connect with him directly, yeah, I can bridge that if you want. And he's so resourceful. Yeah, he has done this kind of work in multiple corporates, including Walmart and so on. So thank you all. Have a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you soon.
Thank you, Manasji.
Bye.